find out as much as we could about autism, we asked the students at Adelphi University.
I know you'll help us when you're feeling better.
Hi, can I ask you a couple of questions about autism?
Sure!
Or if you're busy, it's okay.
Yeah, because I have to go to a class.
Can we do it together?
I'm late for class.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know much about autism.
Hey, yeah, sure.
I should just did a paper on that.
Yeah?
Autism is one of the 5 pervasive developmental disorders which are illustrated by prevalent abnormalities of social interactions and communication, strictly limited interests, and highly repetitive behavior.
Do you know anything about autism?
Autism.
I don't.
Here's what I'd like to suppose.
Yes. Not a lot.
Do I know anything about autism?
I have an idea.
Yes.
It's like
Autism is a neural developmental disorder that appears before the age of 3 and affects the brain's normal development of social interaction and communication skills.
Do you know how many different types of autism there are?
I know there's a whole spectrum. I don't know exactly how many types. I think it's 3 or 4.
I don't know what they're called.
No, I don't actually.
Yeah, I do know that there's like a spectrum,
Okay.
and you can either call it lower end and higher end.
Only one that I know of.
What is which one is it?
Asperger's.
I know autism spectrum disorder, which is like the general term, and I know Asperger's.
Is it Asperger's, a type of autism?
It is.
I know Asperger's. That I don't. I know there are a few.
It's a spectrum disorder,
Okay.
personality, social problems.
Is Asperger's a kind of autism?
To help us explain Asperger's syndrome, we called our friend Max Jerry Horowitz.
Dear Mary Daisy Dinkle, there's something I have to tell you, which will explain why I have not written. Each time I received one of your letters, I had a severe anxiety attack. This is because recently, while I was in a mental institution, they diagnosed that I have a new thing called Asperger's syndrome, which is a neurobiological, pervasive, developmental disability. I prefer ASPI for short. I will now list some of the traits of an ASPI. Number 1, I find the world very confusing and chaotic because my mind is very literal and logical. 2, I have trouble understanding the expressions on people's faces. When I was younger, I made a book to help me when I was confused. I still have trouble with some people. Ivy was hard to understand because of her wrinkles and because her eyebrows weren't real. 3, I have bad handwriting, am hypersensitive, clumsy, I can get very concerned. 4, I like solving problems. Ivy said this is a good thing. And finally, number 5, I have trouble expressing my emotions. Dr. Bernard Hasselhoff says my brain is defective, but one day there will be a cure for my disability.
Do you guys know of any organizations that are geared towards autism awareness?
Unfortunately, not me.
They have a what? That puzzle piece.
No, I'm actually not familiar with any.
No, I
Okay.
No.
don't. Maybe the Donor Institute.
We found 30 different organizations raising autism awareness in the United States alone, one being Autism Speaks Incorporated, which is based out of New York.
Do you know what National Autism Month is?
I don't know. This month. No. Because you're doing a video on it.
That's not why, but yeah. Okay.
Is it this month?
Is it this month?
Is it this month?
I'm assuming April.
October.
Autism Awareness Month is observed on an international level throughout the entire month of April.
What are the clear signs that you can see?
I guess slow speech. If I am by a certain age, they haven't said like a word or anything like that.
Not making eye contact.
Yeah.
Isolation problems.
Can we ask them?
Socially awkward.
Standing on tiptoes, not really speaking.
Having hard times making eye contact.
They have less coordination. They really don't have that much. They walk on their tippy toes a lot.
Sometimes people that have autism, they have textile sensitivity, which means like, you know, certain touches or certain feels can be really extreme to them. They have like aversion to certain things like a lot of light, like for example the fluorescent light, you know, we'll see it as like a consistent light. They might see it as like a constant in and out of light.
When their attention is like really often, like they tend to like focus primarily on certain things. Like if they like to read, they really like to read, but they're socially awkward around others.
Some of the signs of autism are increased sensitivity of the senses, difficulty with speech, repetitive play, short attention span, walking on tiptoes, and trouble making eye contact. In the movie Rain Man, different characteristics of autism are clearly demonstrated.
Out of curiosity, does he have any special abilities?
Well, I mean, he's got a pretty good memory. He can counts toothpicks.
Huh?
Toothpicks. They spilled a box of toothpicks on the floor, and he took one look at them and knew exactly how many there were, and he counted them in seconds.
Huh. Ray. Raymond,
Yeah?
are you good with numbers?
Yeah.
I read about this. I want to try something here.
Kmart, 400 Oak Street. What'd I tell you after this, Ray? After this.
Ray, can we try something?
Yeah.
Do you know how much 312 times 123 is?
38376.
He's right.
What?
He's right.
He's right?
Yeah. Ray, how much is 4,343 times 1,234?
5359262.
He's a genius. He's right. He's a genius. Ray, do you know how much the square root of 2,130 is?
46.15192304. 2304.
That's amazing. I mean, that is amazing. He should work for NASA or something like that. If you had $1 and you spent 50 cents, how much money would you have left?
About 70.
70 cents?
70 cents.
So much for the NASA idea.
Kmart. You should go to Kmart.
What did I tell you after this, Ray? Ray, after this.
400 Oak Street.
Ray, do you know how much a candy bar costs?
About $100.
$100, huh?
Yeah.
You know how much one of those new compact cars cost?
About $100.
In his particular case, he's pretty well off. He's very high functioning. Most autistics, they can't speak or they can't communicate. Ray,
Yeah.
do you know what autistic is?
Yeah.
You know that word?
Yeah.
Are you autistic?
I don't think so. No. Definitely not.
Do you know if it's more prevalent in boys or girls?
I think it's more prevalent in boys.
Boys.
I think it might be more boys.
Boys.
Autism is more prevalent in boys.
Do you guys know if autism is genetic?
Yes. No, I don't think it's genetic. I think it's more like developmental. Like if you don't exercise parts of the brain correctly, then I think that it develops in more areas. It also to do with how the child develops at birth. If the mother has more contact with the child or not.
I do because more than 4 of my family members have autism.
Although environmental factors stimulate autism the most, genetics can be a cause as well. In the movie Miracle Run, genetics caused 2 twin siblings to both be autistic.
Hey,
attention to how he lines up the blocks. See what happens when you try to enter. This one at least appears to respond to verbal cues from the mother, and he's a pretty good mimic. Full word formation and intonation. Ms. Morgan? Yeah. Why don't you join us? Come on in. You can have a seat right here. Well, it is a rather remarkable find.
A find?
Fraternal twins with autism.
I'm sorry, did you say autistic?
They both exhibit unusual gaze behavior and odd social affect. We noted obvious sensory issues, hyperacusis, for example. Philip uses immediate echolalia. He repeats what he hears. They don't display stereotypical motor patterns, but the signs of cognitive development that we observed are good prognostic indicators. Autism is a brain disorder that affects social interaction and communication skills.
While interviewing students around campus, we came across one student we knew would have all of the answers. She herself has autism and offered to tell us a little bit about it from her perspective.
Not knowing how to react in social situations, not being able to read people's body language. A very sort of black and white way of thinking about the world. Like something's either right or wrong. Everything must have a correct way. It's probably at least partially genetic, but there are also maybe environmental factors. There's bridges. It's a different way of thinking a lot of the time. And I found with a lot of people I know, it's not because they do things that are unusual or off-putting, not because they want to make people uncomfortable, but because they can't quite figure out the situation.
There are children and people all over the globe dealing with autism every day. It has been estimated that up to 500,000 people younger than 21 are suffering from this illness. We hope you can join us in this fight to help raise autism awareness.
You will carry yourself away from me and over to somebody else.
Let's just find other people. Yes. Where are you going? There's no people in that direction.
No, I guess I'm really malinformed.
Alright, enough questions. Let's go out. We're going to be filmed.
Thank you so much for your time. I don't think you can tell by you.
Edits in the background now.
Can you repeat that question?
You know anything about autism?
Parents, it's not your fault.